Hey guys, welcome back to the church lighting gameplay. I am David Henry from LearnStageLighting.com, and in this video, I want to talk about why you should start with uplighting at your church and how we can use uplighting, providing this service to special events that come through our building to finance, new lights in order to help pay for it can give our volunteers a little side job, a little extra money, etc. And really how this service can be completely unobtrusive, completely not a hard sell or anything like that, and be able to help the church provide great value to those who are hosting weddings or whatever else at the church. And all in all, be a good thing and not be a capital expense for you. So there's no upfront investment with this. I just want to talk about how we can do uplighting in order to help with everything at the church, really, to help, bring some cash flow for the AV, etc. So why uplighting? Well, like I said, you've got people at your church who are renting your facility for weddings, maybe, or maybe they get it for free if they're a member. That's kind of popular. Maybe they're renting the facility for special events, but whatever it is, most churches have some sort of building rental going on at some point. Most church facilities are not used for ministry every day of the week at all times. Some are, but not most churches. And so a lot of churches obviously rent out their facilities to, conferences, different groups, weddings, etc. Uplighting is a service that we can offer these people, especially for weddings. That's easy to execute. You just set up lights on the floor, and there's a video below. I'm showing you exactly what to do. And it requires no capital expense because I'm going to show you where you can rent these lights from very affordably so that you don't have to go into it even having any lights. You could start literally with this uplighting thing. Say you have no money to start buying lights for your church, but you want to add some lights. You could literally start doing this uplighting as a ministry to these people that are coming in, and as well as a small business for the church, and start buying lights out of it. And uplighting, of course, looks great, and it's a real popular look. And so first, I just want to show you some examples of uplighting, which obviously is real popular in the wedding industry. So here's an example, a little different one, of some uplights on the outside of a building. Again, not your typical thing, but it looks really awesome, and I think it's really a way that you can take events to the next level that are in your facility, because a lot of people, when they do uplights, they're just putting them in the room like this. But when you stick them outside, stick just 4 LED bars or LED strips at the entrance. Just 4. And all of a sudden, it turns it from a bland outdoor entrance that's kind of dark, just has some parking lot lights lighting it or something, and it warms it up, and it makes the event an experience. And that's what we're trying to do with uplighting, whether it's in the room like this. This is behind a stage, but, it could be on the walls. This is on some drape. And then this is in a ballroom, thanks to Steve Johnson of Synthesis Entertainment, one of the DJs who reads Learn Stage Lighting, as he sent in this photo, which just shows you how you can take, blank ballroom and add some uplights in. He added quite a few, but you don't have to add that many, to really create a mood and create an experience in the room that's dynamic and different and really brings the room to life. And if you can see here what this did to this room, a ballroom with chandeliers, it's amazing what uplighting can do. If you're in a church and you've got like a gym or a sanctinasium, which is kind of a bland and boring gym-like room, not very fancy, but it's likely that people are having their wedding receptions there, right? And uplighting can really transform that room. And the great thing about it is these people, these brides, people who are having weddings or having special events at your church are likely they're out there on Pinterest, they're looking at wedding websites and all this other stuff, and they're seeing pictures of uplighting. And what's going through their mind is either, oh, we can't afford that, or let's bring in an outside company to do this, right? And when you bring an outside company to the church, they're going to have the labor. They're going to have to truck the gear in, unload it, set it up at your facility, which they don't know your facility like you know your church. And then they're going to have to come back and tear it down. And it's likely that you can provide that same service for either the same amount of money or less money. And so this is killer, because it's going to allow you to really be able to use the lights that you have that aren't being used during that event, use some labor, maybe some of your volunteers, and pay them to set these things up, and be able to buy some new lights or to raise funds for something else in the church. So to begin with this, you really want to work with the church's wedding person. It's likely you probably know who exactly that is as I say that. Whoever the person is that, coordinates the weddings. When a bride's coming to the church, they want to have their wedding there. This is the person that says, okay, here's what it's going to cost. Here's what you can do. Don't throw rice inside the sanctuary, etc. That person, right? And then the next thing you got to do is know your costs. So when you're talking to the church wedding person, you can say, okay, here's how much it costs for us to do this, this, and this. If we have this many lights, and then it's going to take this long to set up, we're going to pay this guy this much, and that's going to be our total cost, so we're going to charge this. And you give them that number so that they can bring that number to the brides or whoever's renting the facility. And then, of course, like I've said, this is the best part about this, is it's a real good way that you can, not be undercutting someone, but provide this service internally to people that are going to your church. Give them less fuss, because now they don't have to bring in a separate company and keep track of that. Because that's, on your wedding day, I mean, if you remember, mine was only 3 years ago, so it's pretty easy to remember. There's so much stuff going around, so much hubbub, so many things you're trying to keep track of. And if you had one less thing to keep track of, that would be good. And the beauty of this is you would, because the church wedding person would be keeping an eye on things, right? They'd be making sure, okay, you make sure the person's scheduled to bring in the uplights, and then you're not having to worry about coordinating times with the outside company and making sure the outside company can be there at some time when someone's there to open the church for them and then tear it down. When you do it all internally, it's just easier, and you can then use that money that you're generating to possibly purchase some lights of your own. If you don't have any uplights, you can then start buying them. And now you can use these in your set designs. You could hang them, possibly. You just have to pull them down, for weddings, etc. And so this is a really cool opportunity to be able to really up your lighting, help people, right? Because these people, you're making their life easier, because they don't have to bring in this other vendor. Your venue, and you can show them pictures once you've done this once or twice and say, hey, here's what we can do exactly in this room. And then you can execute it and be able to roll that money into, buying some new lights or, whatever you want to do. Maybe you need to save up to buy a new audio console or something. I don't know. But you can rent these at DIYuplighting.com. I'm going to have a link below for you guys, which is an affiliate link. And so if you order through there, I make a small commission on it. But your price isn't going to be any higher than if you just typed in DIYuplighting.com. So I encourage you to do that. And just really think about this as an option, because you can take, a really blank room and make it look really cool like this, and be able to provide that as a ministry to somebody who's coming to your facility already. Help them, because they're not having to bring in another outside vendor. And, at the end of the day, everybody's happy and everybody's, gained. They've gained value because you've made their event look awesome. You've gained value because of dollars. And, I think it's just a really great way that you're able to grow your ministry and help people and encourage people. And, then you can even get to, I just thought of this off the top of my head where, you can then use your uplighting, so you get a little extra money in it, and there's, going to be a charity dinner or something special for, a group at the church, a special dinner. And you can offer to bring in a volunteer, maybe even pay them out of this money that you've earned from this, and make that event special for a ministry in your church without them having to spend any money. So that's just a thought. But definitely want to encourage you guys to think about this and think about ways that you could use this as a ministry and also a venue to be able to acquire some new gear, because I know that is always so hard to budget for and often just so hard to find the money for. But you can grow your lighting, grow how your stage looks on Sunday morning, and help people with their special events in the process. I'd say that's a win-win. Thanks, guys. So that's about the end of this video. Below, I've got those resources like the DIY uplighting link, as well as the video where I show you how to focus an uplight on a wall. And thank you guys so much for enjoying the church lighting game plan. If you haven't already, hit reply to one of the emails I've sent you and just let me know what you've thought of this training and if there's anything that I could do to improve it, because I'm all about continually just trying to make this training the most relevant to you and the best it can be, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So I'll be waiting for that email, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks.